Ladies and gentlemen, I got two messages from two top cadres of the Omenana defenders that I should talk about the subject I'm going to cut into right now. It is about the question of monotheism, politheism, henotheism in the Igbo tradition. These gentlemen that messaged me feel I should get into it because as the Igbos move forward, as the Igbos wake up from sleep, as Omenana defenders work with well-meaning Igbos to get the Igbo horse on the run again, it is good that the Igbos understand what Omenana preaches, supports, and propagates as far as the question of Chukwu, God, gods are concerned. This is a relatively easy subject to cut into. As relatively easy as the relatively of kings in Omenana or absence of kings in Omenana is to resolve. Fellow panelists, I regard you people that are following this channel as panelists because you have the chance, the opportunity to ask questions and then have us reason together. Ladies and gentlemen, as far as Omenana is concerned, Igbos have the awareness that there is only one supreme being. I am talking about Omenana. I am not saying that a contemporary Igbo cannot be an idolater. I'm not saying that a contemporary Igbo cannot have a million gods. But I'm saying that as far as we are discussing Omenana, Omenana is conscious of the fact that there is only one supreme being. If you like, you can call that being God. Before I got involved in formal study of the humanities, I had been a lawyer for over 20 years. I work with evidence. I do not work with emotions. And the evidence we are looking at is that Omenana supports the notion, the idea, the conviction that there is only one supreme being. Evidence of this is clear. The Igbo language does not have a word for gods, either in capital or in small letters. And by the way, just as I mentioned in passing, the evidence is also supported by Igbo view of what we know as the monarchy. If you do not have kings, you cannot have gods. And then how we go to the parent stock, how we go to the parent lineage of the Igbo culture. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bible gave us a very, very accurate account of human history. Originally, humans had the idea that there was only one supreme being. Adam and Eve, who are euphemisms for the earliest ancestors of modern man, had the idea that there was only one supreme being. But after they began to degenerate, after humans began to degenerate, they began to imagine that things they created, that the normal elements like trees, like the sun, like whatever, could also be superior to them. This is how the notion of gods came in. The Israelites, who were the descendants of the Hebrews, we are the first people in the world to realize that this cannot hold true. The sun cannot be your God. The moon cannot be your God. You cannot even be the God of yourself. Abraham was the first figure to reject this notion which had taken hold of humanity. And the descendants of Abraham, the Hebrew, as I have said repeatedly, Hebrew is the English way of saying Igbo, retained this notion when the Hebrew language changed to what we know as the Igbo language today. That is why in the Igbo language, you will not find Chi-nta as the parallel word to Chiukwu. Chiukwu stands for the Supreme Being. I will end this video by repeating what I started with. A contemporary Igbo is free to become an idolator. A Jew can become an idolator. A Samaritan can become an idolator. A Karaite can become an idolator if they choose to be. But they would not find the evidence in their cultures. Their ancestor Abraham had rejected idolatry. And whether they like it or not, that evidence stands. Idolatry was rejected by Abraham. At Mount Sinai, Moses repeated that it's not part of your traditions. We are not saying that human beings don't imagine that gods can exist. Human beings can imagine anything. Human beings, after all, imagine that Azikiwe, the greatest Igbo in the modern era, found the Mame water at River Niger, put him in a bottle. Human beings came up with such imaginations. Human beings came up with the imagination that Alexander the Great, whom everybody knew his father was Philip, had become the child of Zeus. People can imagine all sorts of things, but the fact is that whatever they are imagining are in line with history. If you want to understand the Omenana as the culture of the Israelites or as the culture of the Igbos, get involved with Omenana defenders. You don't understand the Omenana by reading Wikipedia articles or visiting people who don't know Omenana. You have to have a sound formal education first, then be serially educated in religion. There was a guy I was friendly with in Abuja, Patrick Ugwani. I hope he will watch this video. He ran a bookshop and he was active in politics. I came to Patrick one day with a question. The Israelites are a minor nation, very small. How come that everybody in the world wants to attach to this identity, which is, by the way, the identity of the Igbos? Patrick talked for a moment and said that he has the idea that these people came very close to the Supreme Being. I said, what do you say in support of what you are saying? He said that while everybody was looking for deities, gods they could see with their eyes, the Israelites conceived of a God that had no image. Even the Igbo that has gone mad knows that Chukwu, the Igbos don't think that Chukwu can have an image. Even the Igbo that has gone mad, I'm talking about the Igbo that has become insane, will not say that Chukwu has an image. So on this note, I conclude this video. Thank you, everybody. We will march on. The Igbos are going to be liberated from ignorance because the Igbos stood at Mount Sinai when the Lord God gave humanity the keys to redemption of humanity. Thank you, everybody.